Hey, good evening, everybody. It's Adam running and navigating trails. And it's another video from home today, but I promise a trail episode is coming very soon. So, I posed a question on Instagram where I asked if you thought I have used performance enhancing drugs or would ever consider using them. It's a question that's come up in some conversations recently. I remember having dinner with a friend and he asked, would you take performance enhancing drugs if they guaranteed that you'd make millions of dollars? And in another conversation today, I was asked if I would use performance enhancing drugs if I knew I wouldn't get caught. So I'm going to give you an answer. It might be a little surprising to some of you, or maybe not. So the poll results are in, and a vast majority of you said, no, I have not and wouldn't consider using. So those of you that said no are 100% correct. I have never used a performance enhancing drug ever. As a matter of fact, I am not really sure how to get my hands on them. Not that I would ever do that. I have an idea. I just know that even the thought of seeking them out is something that makes me very uncomfortable. So now this is the meat and potatoes of the episode where I'm going to give you the reasons why I would never use performance enhancing drugs. So anybody that knows me well knows that I have never really even partaken in recreational drug use, what you call straight edge or a square or whatever term you want to use. It's all in good fun. I know you must be real fun at parties. So, anyways, I guess the difference is when it comes to performance enhancing drugs is these drugs are very powerful. And once you start taking something like synthetic testosterone, you can't stop. You are dependent on it for the rest of your life. It shuts down your natural production. So, another thing about using performance enhancing drugs is the benefits you gain come with a cost. And hence, you have athletes dying young, whether they're bodybuilders, WWE or professional wrestling superstars, people in athletics, track and field, Flojo, for example. These athletes die young because you're stressing your heart, your organs, and you're also increasing your risk of things like heart disease, cancer, diabetes. Honestly, the list is so long, I can't see any benefits to really using them. A lot of the information and knowledge I have regarding performance enhancing drugs comes from other YouTubers. For example, one guy I watch is Derek. His channel is called More Plates, More Dates. I've also watched videos from bodybuilders, and the reason why I watch those videos is not only do I find the science fascinating, but bodybuilders tend to be very open about their use as opposed to maybe people in my sport, the running world, where some people claim to be clean, but probably are using something that's not being tested for. And not only using something that maybe isn't being tested for, but maybe just outright beating the system. And there are ways to do that. It's been done before. Lance Armstrong, for example, never once tested positive for performance enhancing drugs. So I just want to be clear in this video, I'm not accusing anybody of anything. This isn't about anybody in particular. All I'm saying is from my experience as a sports fan over the years, and especially as a follower of track and field, it's not surprising that someone will get busted. Now, later, it's going to happen. And sometimes it doesn't happen right away. It can take years, and then medals get rescinded later. It's just kind of the way it goes. So, what's the appeal for using performance enhancing drugs? What would draw somebody to them? So, for one, you can drastically improve your performance, you can recover faster, and for some people, there's money on the line. There's scholarships to go to school, there's professional contracts, and every athlete has the thought like, what's my ceiling? What's the furthest I can push myself physically? I think that kind of goes along with a win at all costs attitude. Some athletes have it. I know for myself, I would rather not take that risk. I'd rather not have any marks next to my name. So maybe for myself, I'm not going to be somebody that gets a professional contract. but at least I stayed true to myself and my beliefs. So you can definitely see which side of the fence I'm on. And I remember C.T. Fletcher in one of his videos was talking about his experience with steroids. And he was saying that, yes, he improved quite a bit, but as soon as he stopped, he said he set himself back for a long time. And he said it would have been better just to go the natural route and slowly, incrementally improve, as opposed to go the route he did, where you had these crazy gains followed by a major setback, and it takes even longer to get back to where you were, never mind at a higher level. So, finally, my last point is these drugs are very expensive. And if you want to do it right, you're going to have to do this under a doctor's supervision, which is also costly because this isn't something you're going to your primary care for. You're probably going to an anti-aging clinic. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for tonight. I probably wouldn't consider ever using performance enhancing drugs. I wouldn't use performance enhancing drugs, even if it landed me millions of dollars, even if I knew I was never going to get caught. Time to me is a very valuable asset, and I want to live as long as possible. I hope I see more. I hope I do more. And I just want to continue to put more feathers in my cap, become a better person, and hopefully do a lot in my lifetime. I'm not forcing my beliefs onto you. Please research everything I said. Make your own decision. Just make sure it's an informed one. Anyways, have a good night. Catch you next time. Instagram at Adam Running and Navigating Trails. Take care. Bye. And I'll ask one last question before I sign off. If you are somebody that's used performance enhancing drugs, you're welcome to email me anonymously and let me know your experience. Like I said, I'm fascinated by the science. I would never use them myself, but if there was a way that these could be administered safely with no side effects, in a perfect world, maybe I'd consider.